We all know that last year you did something cool. But honestly, I don't even remember what it was.
What's going on, Screen Rant? It's Liam Crowley here at Disney HQ, and I am joined by the one and only creator of all things Percy Jackson, Mr. Rick Riordan. Rick, it is so good to see you.
Hey, always good to see you, Liam.
It's been a minute. I think the last time we spoke was at the premiere of season 1 on the carpet.
I think you're right. It seems like a long time ago.
And that was the last in-person time. And the time since, we did a Zoom interview about the second book in the Percy College trilogy.
Right, you're right.
You've been a busy man.
Trying to keep out of trouble, what can I tell you?
Today we're celebrating 20 years of Percy Jackson. This character has been a part of pop culture since 2005. It's crazy to say. I have my original copy of The Lightning Thief here with the Crowley on the top, and that is because I showed this to the wonderful Virginia Cole.
There you go.
I showed this to her at the carpet premiere because my mom taught this book in middle school.
Right. I love
which
that
is a
story.
crazy full circle thing because you were a teacher yourself. I'd love to go back to when you first wrote this book because you dedicated it to your son, Haley.
Yeah.
And in the dedication page, it says to Haley, who heard the story first. How much of the story did he hear?
Great question. We were talking about that, he and I, the other day, as a matter of fact. He is 30 now. I'm not sure how that happened, but yes, but he tells me that there are actually many things that are different in the book version from the bedtime story I originally told him, which I did not remember. I think the biggest change he told me was that the character Luke did not exist in the original bedtime story. That was added when I wrote it, apparently. I had no memory of this, but so sometimes he'll tell me, no, the bedtime story, that's only my version, and that's the one I know. That's different than the book story. And obviously, his is better.
I was gonna say, Luke, in not being in The Lightning Thief would change it completely.
I know.
Like I said, we're celebrating 20 years here. If I had told you at the 5th year anniversary or the 10th year anniversary that we would be celebrating 20 in quite literally the middle of this pentology being adapted into live action, would you at all believe me?
No, probably not. Probably not. I would have probably said, we're at 10 years? How did that happen? I would have been amazed enough simply to think that the books had lasted that long. To think of 20 years is unbelievable. And of course, the adaptation ongoing, it's pretty incredible to see, and it's incredible. It's unbelievable to me.
When you were writing the original stories, I'd love to go through a day in the life of Rick when you're at that writer's desk and you're fine-tuning a chapter or you're creating a new character. What does that day look like? Because for me, if I have a busy day of interviews like this, I need to be up at like 5 a.m. and do a whole morning routine and get in the right headspace. What does your perfect writing day look like?
Well, if I ever find one, I'll let you know. I am not a good guy with schedules. I mean, I have talked to other writers who say from 9:45 until 11:32 every day I do writing, and then from 2 to 3. I don't do that. I just get up and the day happens as it happens. The only rule I have is I try to get something done every day. What that is, what that looks like, always changes. The one thing that hasn't changed, though, is in a writing day for me, I do my best work in the morning. If I try to write in the afternoon, it doesn't work because my brain is just fried by that time. So that's really the only consistent thing. Other than that, I just try plugging along when I can, as I can.
Mm-hmm. Is there any unique places where creative inspiration comes from?
I started writing these when I was still a full-time middle school teacher, so I had to just kind of write whenever I could, wherever I could. I'd get up very early in the morning and write. I could write in the classroom, between classes if I needed to, or late at night after the kids were asleep. So no, I don't have any special kind of routines or places. I just find the pragmatic approach is the best. Got a few minutes? Okay, let's try to write.
Did you ever have a memory, though, if you're writing in the classroom where something happened in the class and that kind of sparked an idea and you just took it and ran with it in the book?
By the time I was writing these, I'd been teaching long enough that I had enough material for a lifetime in terms of great middle school experiences. And, you know, middle school kids I love them. They're a lot of fun and they're quirky and they're going through so much. But I resonate with their sense of humor and all the things that they struggle with. And so that informed Percy Jackson. So it was born really out of the middle school classroom. And so I definitely have that kind of instilled in me.
By the time this gets published, Percy Jackson's birthday will have happened August 18th.
Yeah.
It's basically a national holiday at this point. The Empire State Building lights up blue every year for it. You told me in a previous interview how you settled on Jackson as a last name, it coming from prior novels and stuff like that, because the Percy was fairly obvious. How did you land on August 18th?
Really, it was simply because of the plot. I mean, that is when the battle happened with the gods and the Titans. The summertime is when most of the books happened because of camp being, the main kind of setting. So I wanted it to happen sometime that made sense when we could see it happen on the screen, as it were, in the books. And that just happened to be August 18th. So congratulations, Percy, you now have a birthday.
Yeah, August 18th, it just sticks out to me because the number's 818. It's so aesthetically pleasing.
I know, yeah.
And like you said, it comes in the middle of the summer. Since we last spoke, I have moved to New York City. I'm a resident of Manhattan now, and I can't go a single day without walking by something that reminds me of Percy Jackson.
Awesome.
My new building is neighboring the Empire State Building, and I'm like, I live very close to Olympus. It's not a big deal. I've been going on a lot of Central Park runs, and I'm passing all these statues, and I'm thinking of the Battle of Manhattan that you so wonderfully wrote in The Last Olympian. When you're in New York City, are there any landmarks that stick out to you that are your favorite to visit because of the Percy Jackson connection you made to them?
Yeah, I love Central Park. I love the statue of Pomona that is the Greek goddess outside of the Plaza Hotel. I remember very clearly writing that scene, and every time I go by, I kind of smile. And of course, the Empire State Building. I can't, go by it obviously without thinking of Percy Jackson and all the things the gods have put him through. So yeah, those are the two that come to mind.
The one that sticks out to me, and I don't even know if it's necessarily in the books, my knowledge is being tested here, but around 30 Rock, there's the statue of Atlas holding up the world. Season 3 is in production right now. I know we got Nico and Bianca announced. Are conversations happening about Atlas?
Yes, conversations are happening. That is in process. I don't know the answer yet, and if I did, I probably couldn't tell you. But yes, it's happening.
Yeah, well, Atlas is one of my most anticipated characters to see adapted, because now we're in completely uncharted territory. Obviously, the movies were their own interpretation of the books, but still, there was a lot of mirrored scenes we saw in the movies.
Sure.
Going into season 3 now, we've never seen any of that before. Seeing Nico in live action is going to be, I can't even put the words to describe it.
Yeah, I've seen the first dailies, and I have to say, it gave me chills. It's pretty great.
I'll give a shout out to Seaweed Brain Podcast, Monster Dona, and Newest Olympian, because they all talked with Walker at San Diego, and he shared a very touching story about his chemistry read with Levi. Aww. Were you present for that?
I wasn't, no.
So you haven't seen them interact together yet?
I only saw the chemistry reads in that in tape. I wasn't actually present, so yeah, no.
Okay, and you said the dailies that you've seen, these are very early. Production only started like last week?
That's right, very early. First scenes, yeah, Westover Hall.
Wow, okay. I'm so excited because like I said about the Atlas factor, we have the overarching villain, which you could argue is Luke. Yeah. I say argue because from a certain perspective, you can understand where he's coming from.
Sure.
Kronos is obviously the overarching presence.
Right.
But it's nice to get that henchman in there leading the charge. I wanted to flash back to the years from 2010 to 2014, because that's when you were developing the Heroes of Olympus franchise. What I find remarkable, because I pieced this together today when I was doing additional research for this interview, that was when the movies were coming out. I don't want to resurrect past demons and talk about that experience, because obviously it wasn't what you wanted it to be. But the fact that those films came out and you were doing what I would argue is your best writing in those Heroes of Olympus books. You're writing Mark of Athena, you're writing Son of Neptune in the midst of what seemed pretty chaotic in Hollywood. How were you able to not only just stay positive, but do some of your best work in that time?
Well, thank you for that. I think probably, honestly, it was a blessing in disguise because I wasn't involved in the films. On a day-to-day basis, I didn't have to deal with it. I wasn't being called and giving notes and reading script drafts. And so because of that, my mind was totally focused on the books. So now, especially now that I've been an executive producer on the TV show, I have a newfound respect and understanding of just how tough it is to get a show made and how much work it is. So hats off to producers, actors, directors, everybody who makes that happen. Because you're right, if I were involved to the level that I am now, I'm not sure that I would have had the bandwidth back then to be able to do that series.
Very much so, but it gets pretty easy when you have someone like Walker in the title role.
Oh, for sure.
Because he gets this character to a level, I don't think you could have scripted it any better for how much he understands Percy's psyche. How has Walker's portrayal of Percy influenced not only your perception of Percy, but your writing of him? Because you're working on this college trilogy as we speak.
Yes, as I work on the newer Percy Jackson books, well, it's just fun to get back to that character in any way, in any sense, but you're absolutely right. I now hear Walker's voice and Walker's interpretation in my mind as I'm writing that book. But the neat thing is it dovetails so perfectly that he has added to it, not so much changed it, but deepened my understanding and appreciation for who Percy is and who he can be. So I guess that's what a really great actor does, is they take a role and they augment and make it exponentially better. And that's Walker.
Very much so. And what's cool too is obviously Walker, he's the title star. This story is always going to be told through majority his perspective. The luxury of TV, we get those scenes. I love the scene with Grover and Ares in season 1.
Yeah.
When we get to go away from Percy's perspective for a little bit. There are so many characters you're adapting moving forward. I know both Luke and Clarice, Dior and Charlie have been upgraded to series leads for season 2. Are there any characters you wrote in this original pentology that you felt you could have given more shine to, that you anticipate maybe getting some more shine in the TV show?
I mean, it's tough to pick, and it's also...
You can just say Beckendorf, Rick.
I mean,
I'm waiting, I'm impatiently waiting.
The Stoll brothers, Charles Beckendorf, Selena Beauregard. There are a lot of, shall we say, ancillary characters that I would love to give more time to, but it is tough, even with a TV show where you have a much bigger canvas than you do with a feature film. You still have obvious time limits that it's not always possible to get everything in that I would like to get in. So there's a lot of conversations. What can we do? What really doesn't make sense? Who can we cast for this season? Who probably is not going to make it, into the final cut? It's really hard to do that. I mean, if we had the luxury of making 32 one-hour episodes, maybe. But if we did that, then it would be 5 years between seasons and the kids would be 40 by the time we were done. So it's just, even there, it's just not possible. You just have to do with what you can with what you have.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to everything in season 2. Everything I've seen so far looks amazing. I spoke with Glenn Turman a couple months ago at a Netflix premiere, and I was like, how's it feel to be a party pony? And he was like, oh, wait till you see it. Like, the fact that we're getting that level of authenticity in season 2 is really special. You mentioned casting. I did want to give a shout to the late Lance Reddick quickly. What an amazing performance he gave in season 1. Obviously, he'll be dearly missed in season 2. But Courtney B. Vance, who was cast in place of him as Zeus, I don't know if you're aware of this, you probably are. He was in a 1993 TV movie called Percy and Thunder.
I was not aware of that. That's amazing.
This is because it's a boxing movie. Has nothing to do with Percy Jackson, but just the level of the title is Percy and Thunder, and not only the Percy factor, but he's playing the God of Thunder. Can you speak at all to what you've seen from him in this role and how he carries that legacy?
See, this is how Liam takes it always to the next level with the research. He's so good at that. Wow, I love that. Well, I mean, we're very lucky that Courtney could come on board. He's incredible. He's going to be amazing in the role. And obviously, Lance was a huge loss for the industry, especially for us. Beloved, and has a connection with Tamara Smart, who is our Thalia Grace. And so I think everybody felt really good about that transition. There was a lot of love, a lot of respect around that casting choice. And we all feel good about it. Of course, it's bittersweet, but I am confident that he's going to make a perfect King of Olympus.
Yeah, I'm very, very thrilled to see what he brings to the role. Obviously, Lance's presence will be felt forever in the show. I'll wrap with this, Rick. We're shooting season 3 right now, which is before season 2 even comes out. Is the ambition production every summer?
I don't know exactly what our schedule will end up being. I mean, certainly we are well aware that faster is better as long as we're not sacrificing quality. It is the hope that we can get season 3 out more quickly than we did between 1 and 2. And I'm very grateful that 20th and Disney Plus put the commitment forward so that we can get started so early on season 3. That's a huge vote of confidence. So I would love to see the seasons come out with less time between them, and I think that's everybody's goal. So knock on whatever this is.
I think the legs are made of wood.
There you go. We'll do that.
Well, Rick, that's all the time we have, but we're living in the best timeline. I can't believe this is real. I can't believe I'm here. I can't believe everything. So thank you again for your time.
Oh, thank you. Always a pleasure.
Brace yourself, Perseus.